Hello, this is Tsukihime. Welcome. It's not really my Let's Play, but welcome to my series of videos of Kerbal Space Program. Last time I was showing you my space station and saying how impossible it was to dock on it. Well, I don't know what happened, but the other night I just basically had an epiphany for how to dock stuff properly. Let's just say I went hog wild once I figured it out. I've found that a lot of the times it was so much easier to dock anything to it if I had the grabber claw, because I have the space tug, and I can just take parts off of this. That's what I've been doing actually. I've been taking just parts off of the ships that were just grabbing on. Sometimes I would have them dock, like this refueling station up here. This was actually another one. So it's two different building ships are actually up here at the same time. Wow, I never thought about it that way. But anyway, this one had a lot of RCS fuel, so I said, well, I'm going to have to make it a docking port up here, because if I don't, then I'm going to have to use the space tug and pull it around and dock it backwards. I don't really want to do that, so I put the port there. I actually docked him over here somewhere, and I ended up moving it up there. But yeah, this is a huge ship now. It's been up now for 1 year and 100 days from what it says up there. And there's lots of RCS fuel. Currently what I'm doing is going to this bottom part here. This iconic right here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I think you can, but like this bottom little section right here. Excuse me. So I've been expanding on this part because this is going to be the main docking hub. I've been putting the space tug as of late up here out of the way whenever I'm trying to figure out what to do next. Let's change the view to free, because I like free. Free is good. Okay, so what I'm doing here now, I'm keeping this dock because it has a lot of, like, it still has a lot of monopropellant there. So it still has RCS fuel. How much is left in this one? See, they're really good. Like, this little tug is actually really good for fuel efficiency. It's just that it's that, and it's really small and it's really versatile. So it can go basically anywhere. Probably even my brother's pants. Who knows? But anyway, I've been using it to try to straighten things out, because when I first docked this support strut here last night, it was a little bit off kilter. I found that it was just kind of angled the wrong way, so I had to and since there's no RCS up here, I actually had to undock from here, turn it, and then dock it back in again. Thankfully, it didn't have all these extra stuff attached to it, because if it did, I would not have been able to dock it again, I'm sure. But the biggest issue I have with this ship now, the space station, is that it wobbles a lot, and it's mostly my fault because I've been using these little tiny docking ports. That's just mostly because I don't know how to build a space station, so I wanted to build smaller docking ports that are all the same size, so I can interchange them, like swap them around. But these solar panels are staying where they are. I'm not moving them. That was way too hard to move. Let me think. So yeah, in the future, what I'm planning on doing with this ship is, I'll probably post pictures of it before I actually post this video. But what I plan to do is, first off, I'm going to angle these properly. What I'm doing is I'm putting one of these little six-way intersection port things. I'm putting them in between these struts here, and I'm going to attach at least one fuel thing to each. I think it wobbles because the SAS is on. I'm going to turn the SAS off and see what happens. It's going to probably rotate around for a bit, but that's going to have to be it. See, that's what happens when I just left it alone. I never touched it or anything, and it's wobbling like a son of a bitch. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's only slight now, but later on it gets worse. But, I gotta see, maybe... Like, I've tried turning off torque. I've tried that. That doesn't work. But yeah, that's the space station. If you have any, besides, other than rebuilding the station from scratch, if you have any ideas for how to stop this thing from wobbling, let me know. I think it's mostly wobbling because this thing's attached to it. And his control wheels are operational. Toggle torque. Actually, I want to check something out. No, okay. So it's actually considering this as a part of the space station, even though it's clearly not. Because once I detach all of these little parts and stick them onto the space station, I'm sending this little small part here down, like back down to the surface. And although I probably won't do that before I take most of the RCS out of this, because I actually didn't use very much, oddly enough. I'm getting better at this docking, because before I used to run out of RCS, I used to have to use a lot of RCS fuel. But this is actually really, really good for me. If I can do this on half a tank, that's great. So I'm probably going to do the thing I was telling you about with excuse me, about with this thing. So after these two parts are taken off, I'll use the space tug, attach it to this, have this whole assembly detach. Then I'll attach it somewhere, probably here because it's closest. And I can't dock it here because it's too big. And I'll probably unload most of the RCS fuel, because it doesn't take too much to get this thing to get ships out of orbit from this space station. Because as you can see, my it's about 90 every time. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but I was just like the first time I tried docking, my brother can attest to this. I was here about 3 hours trying to dock two ships together that were the same model. And I couldn't do it. No matter what I did, I could not do it. So, but after 3 hours I did, but it wasn't straight like these ones are. I didn't really care. I just had two things docked in space, and that was great. So for the longest time, that was the last thing I actually docked. And then I had this brilliant idea of bringing almost the entire space station up with me in one go. That was this little section here and the solar arrays. And this little bit of RCS too, I think. Yeah. And then after that I thought, well, maybe I should have put a cupola module up, so I got that up there. And then I got my fuel, my extra fuel, and after that I went hog wild. And so, there you have it. So, I've been getting a lot better at docking. It just clicked one night. It was only like 3 nights ago. 3 nights ago it was pretty much just this little section here. And now it's all of this. So I was kind of debating whether or not I should just fold all of this up and take it to another planet, but I thought, no, this is probably not going to happen because it's just too many parts. Yeah, it looks like turning the SAS off and turning off the torque and stuff actually helped. Because I guess with 4 different, I think they're all cupola. Yeah, 4 different modules vying for control over the ship is not exactly the best, especially since it's not symmetrical. Wouldn't have been so bad if this was all symmetrical and this thing here was probably in control, because then it would just be just these little parts here flapping in the wind. Or solar wind. Oh. So, yeah. So next time I take a picture of this or a video, it's probably going to be almost complete. So I'm going to have this thing rotated, because it's not rotated properly. So I'll have these little 6-way joints in between these struts, and I'll have these fuel tanks kind of jutting out this way, like just like that, because I want to keep them out of the way. If anything comes up here to dock in the future, I want to have this station as accessible as possible, and I don't think there's going to be as many ships coming in this way with the solar panels in the way. So that's my reasoning. I might take a second space tug up here just in case, because I have had limitations because I only had one space tug available. So I might make another one just like this and set it up and kind of dock the space tugs up here, because they can fit in there and there's not too much worry of them getting in the way when they're docked up there. I originally put them docking ports there just in case I couldn't get any of these solar panels to fit in the ones up there. But yeah, this is pretty much all I've been doing in Kerbal Space Program as of late. And it's absolutely amazing just looking at it from just not doing anything to it. It's absolutely phenomenal. I didn't think I'd ever be able to make something like this. But if you, I'm planning on making another space station somewhere else. If you have any ideas, let me know. I'll consider them, but I won't say I will accept them. Because if you say something ridiculous like Elu or something like that, I probably will refuse it. Somewhere within the inner circle, like maybe even around Kerbal. It might take a century or two to get everything docked together, but that's it. So we can dock stuff around Kerbal, or maybe Moho. I got a satellite now around Eve. But it's kind of weird. It's a polar orbit, so it wasn't intentional, but it ended up being a polar orbit. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, as the saying goes. Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. I can't believe I'm making this. I can't believe I'm actually doing it, too. And what I've been doing with this one here is I've been undocking this. Like, I undocked this little segment that used to be here. And I just dock it over there just to get it out of the way. Then I moved the space tug over here. I had 2 docking ports up there, as you can tell. Like 2 of these little 6-way dockings. Moved it down here and docked it here. So I'm going to straighten that up first. And then I'm going to go and try to put this segment back on again. Because it doesn't really matter with the segments which direction they're pointing, because they're only going to go in one direction anyway. Then I'll take the fuel tank and dock it here or here. And try to see if I got it straight, and then after that, well, I'll have to send up another fuel tank. Then I'll have a semi-complete space station. So, anyway, one last little view of the space station before I get out of it. This thing is so hard to turn. Just want to get that out there. This thing is nearly impossible to turn. So I've been not turning it. It's been rotating like that ever since I've started docking a lot of stuff to it, and there's nothing I could do about it. Too much wobbly. So, that's pretty much all I have to say about the space station. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this little video to show you what my space station looks like. The next time you see it, I'll probably have more fuel tanks attached to it. I might have an actual ship attached to it that I'll send out somewhere else. I might actually have parts here to build this, like, so I can take it out to the stars. I might have extra parts there so I can assemble a space station train and take it out somewhere. That could work too. I mean, that's what this thing's for. It's a fueling depot. It's for refueling. There's no science modules or anything. There's a couple of living quarters up here, though. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I'll leave you with this gorgeous view of the space station and the sun. And I'll see you for the next video. This is Tsukihime signing off. Have a good day.